Feeling the pressure of AI's relentless pace? You're not alone. Stanford University just released its massive 400-page AI Index report for 2025. If you're a business leader trying to navigate this is your essential briefing. I've distilled what you absolutely must know now. And when we talk AI, it's important to remember we're seeing a huge surge in generative AI like ChatGPT. But this comprehensive Stanford report looks at the broader AI landscape, crucial for a complete strategic picture. We'll cover where the money is really going, the shifting global AI power balance, the new rules of the game you can't ignore, and crucially, the opportunities and risks that will define your business in this AI era. Ready to get strategic? Let's go. Now, let's turn our attention to the sheer financial energy and widespread adoption fueling the AI revolution. The Stanford Index paints a truly vivid picture here. The numbers are staggering. But as a leader, what's the real story behind this AI gold rush for your business and your bottom line? First, the Stanford report confirms businesses are betting huge on AI. We're talking record global corporate AI investment, hitting a phenomenal sum in the hundreds of billions in 2024. The US is spearheading this with well over $100 billion in private AI investment. That's many times over what China and the UK are investing individually. And this isn't just theoretical investment. Actual AI usage in businesses, according to the index, jumped from around half of organizations in 2023 to a massive majority, nearly 4 out of 5 in 2024. The payoff? Well, research consistently shows AI boosting productivity. But here's a particularly valuable insight for you as a leader, straight from the report's findings. AI often helps narrow skill gaps, making your entire workforce potentially more effective, not just automating tasks. It's worth considering. How are you thinking about AI in your organization? Not just for pure automation, but as a powerful tool for upskilling and empowering your diverse teams. So, we've seen massive investment, but how is this actually impacting accessibility and costs for your business? Another key takeaway from the Stanford Index addresses this directly. The great news for your bottom line is that AI is becoming dramatically more affordable. The cost to run a GPT 3.5 level AI has plummeted. We're talking a reduction of over 280-fold in roughly just 18 months. Open weight models are also catching up fast, significantly lowering the barriers to entry for businesses of all sizes. However, it's crucial to temper this excitement with a dose of reality. While AI is beginning to deliver financial impact, the index shows most companies are still in the early stages of their AI journey. Many are reporting initial cost savings under 10% and revenue increases under 5%. It's a reminder that those big financial wins often take time and deep strategic integration. Now, beyond costs and accessibility, let's look at who is driving this innovation wave according to Stanford's findings. Industry is clearly dominating AI model creation. The report states nearly 90% of notable models in 2024 came from the private sector. But here's the catch for business leaders. The AI frontier is incredibly competitive and getting crowded. The performance difference between the top AI models has shrunk dramatically. We're talking less than 1% difference between the top two. The direct implication for your strategy here is that the innovation cycle is relentless. Staying competitive requires constant learning, strategic foresight, and serious agility. So, to quickly recap the AI Gold Rush insights from the Stanford Index for business leaders. Over $250 billion in global investment, widespread business adoption, dramatically falling costs. But remember, those transformative financial returns? They're still early days for most, and the competitive heat is definitely on. Speaking of that competition, what's the most significant AI-driven competitive pressure you're feeling in your specific industry right now? Drop a comment below. I'd love to hear your on-the-ground experiences. Having explored the financial bits, let's broaden our view. AI isn't just a domestic play, it's a global chessboard with rapidly shifting power dynamics. As a leader, understanding this global arena is vital. And perhaps the most crucial piece on that board highlighted throughout the Stanford report? Trust. First, the global landscape. The US continues to produce the most AI models, but China is a major force, rapidly closing the quality gap. The index shows Chinese models are now achieving near parity performance on key benchmarks, and China leads in AI publications and patents. This isn't just a two-horse race. The Stanford report knows this isn't just a two-horse race. The Stanford report shows notable launches from the Middle East, Latin America, and Southeast Asia too. Now, here's a fascinating strategic insight for any business with global aspirations, pulled from Stanford's data. AI optimism varies wildly across the globe. Asian nations like China show over 80% optimism about AI's benefits. Compare that to the US, where it's only around 40%. And this, for me, ties into one of the most critical themes from the Stanford Index, and one I often discuss, the trust chasm. The report clearly shows declining global confidence in AI companies, protecting personal data and ensuring fairness. If your customers, your employees, your stakeholders don't trust AI, or more specifically, your company's use of AI, then widespread adoption and the benefits that come with it will stall. This is a massive hurdle, particularly in Western markets. This global AI landscape, combined with this trust deficit, demands nuanced international strategies and a proactive, transparent approach to building and maintaining stakeholder trust. For today's business leader, it's no longer just about deploying the tech. It's about demonstrating responsible stewardship and earning that trust. Moving from the global AI arena, let's address what every leader needs squarely on their radar: the incoming regulatory tide, and a surprising new challenge: potential data scarcity for AI development. The report is stark. AI-related incidents are rising sharply, yet standardized responsible AI evaluations, the tools to assess safety, are still disappointingly rare among model developers. And even large language models meticulously trained to be unbiased can show implicit bias in critical areas like hiring or marketing. This isn't just an ethical concern, it's a significant business risk. Now, a critical point for your long-term AI strategy, one the Stanford report brings into sharp focus: the data commons. That public web data many AIs train on is shrinking fast. Why? Websites are increasingly restricting data scraping. The proportion of restricted data in one major dataset jumped significantly, from around 6% to nearly 30% in just a few years. Why does this matter profoundly to your business? Because if high-quality public data for training AI becomes a scarce resource, businesses with robust, ethical, proprietary data strategies, or those can leverage synthetic data, will gain an immense competitive advantage. Your data strategy, leaders, is no longer just an IT issue. It's a core C-suite level business imperative. And this demand for data and processing power isn't happening in an energy vacuum. The Stanford Index points to a fascinating and critical trend. AI is now so power hungry that major tech players are investing in nuclear energy to fuel their AI operations. This signals the sheer scale of the AI build-out and its profound infrastructural impact that business leaders must consider. And speaking of rules, governments worldwide are definitely stepping up. The Stanford Index documents a global surge in AI-related regulations. In the US, federal agencies introduced nearly 60 new AI regulations in 2024 alone, more than double the previous year. And it's not just about general rules. The report also highlights a significant 2024 trend: the launch and expansion of international AI safety institutes. This signals a coordinated global push for concrete safety standards. The message for business leaders is unmistakable: prepare for increased compliance, but also scan the horizon for opportunities. These government investments and safety initiatives can fuel new partnerships and reshape markets. As a leader, are you truly policy aware and safety conscious? So, to summarize this critical section, AI incidents are up. Data for training is becoming a strategic battleground. and the regulatory wave is building. Proactive risk management and data governance are non-negotiables. So, looking forward through the lens of the Stanford report, where are the biggest AI breakthroughs creating new opportunities for your business? What are the current hard limits we must respect? And crucially, how does the human element, your workforce, fit into this rapid evolving AI picture? With excitement, the report confirms AI is rapidly moving beyond the lab and into real-world applications. From hundreds of new FDA-approved medical devices in 2023 to smart transportation. And looking ahead, the index highlights the early but very real promise of AI agents. These are systems designed for complex, autonomous tasks. Early benchmarks show top AI agents outperforming human experts by as much as 4 times in short, complex assignments. For your business, this signals transformative potential. Imagine AI agents turbocharging R&D, complex data analysis, or highly specialized problem solving. It's about augmenting human capability in entirely new ways. Now, we're seeing AI performance on demanding benchmarks skyrocket. And while it's wise, as I mentioned earlier, to be a little skeptical about benchmarks always reflecting real-world business practicality, the underlying trend is clear. AI is getting demonstrably smarter, especially in new areas. The Stanford report does show AI excelling in new practical benchmarks, from generating high-quality video to even outperforming humans in specific programming tasks. The capabilities are definitely broadening. However, the Stanford report is also refreshingly candid about current limitations. True, complex logical reasoning, the kind essential for high-stakes, nuanced business decisions, remains a challenge for today's AI. You can still falter on tasks requiring provably correct, step-by-step logic where absolute precision is paramount. This is a crucial reality check for every business leader. Leverage AI enthusiastically for its strengths, but deeply understand its current limitations in deep, reliable reasoning before deploying it in mission-critical decision-making roles. Rigorous due diligence and pilot testing are essential. And who's going to build and manage all this AI? The Stanford Index shows a surge in AI master's degrees in the US, which is promising. However, it also flags persistent gaps in K-12 computer science education and teacher readiness. For business leaders, this means the AI talent pipeline is developing, but it's a long-term cultivation effort, not an instant fix. So, distilling this massive Stanford AI Index report down for you, what's the absolute bottom line? It's this. The AI wave is undeniably here, and it's fundamentally reshaping our world and our businesses. Investment is at an all-time high. Companies are adopting AI at an accelerated pace, and tangible productivity gains are being realized. However, this is not a static game. It's a dynamic, fiercely competitive global arena. The technology, while incredibly powerful, has clear limitations, especially in areas like complex reasoning and inherent bias. Trust, as we've discussed, remains a major hurdle. The regulatory landscape is actively forming, and your company's data strategy is now more critical to its future than ever before. For leaders in 2025 and beyond, strategic agility, a commitment to continuous learning, and a proactive, unwavering approach to both leveraging AI's immense power and managing its risks responsibly are no longer just buzzwords. They are the absolute essentials for survival and success. Want to unlock the power of AI? Our free newsletter gives you the tips, trends, AI news, and tools you need to succeed. Sign up with the link in the description below. Your journey doesn't stop here. Watch our next video right here and keep building your knowledge.